Hey everyone, it's Michael here at Home Health Success Academy. I just want to say thank you so much for, coming back to another one of our free videos out there and to be able to share with you guys 10 habits of some of the most successful home health agencies and home health marketers out there. And, if this is the first time you're watching one of our videos, I just want to say welcome and, where have you guys been? I definitely wanted to be able to always meet new people out there and I'm glad that you're here. And we've been out there for a while, so we've been helping a lot of home health agencies, a lot of home care companies, and of course hospice agencies as well become successful through a lot of our videos and consultations as well, and through some of our live seminars that we've been holding. So, in this particular series, what we're doing here is we're sharing with you guys 10 habits of some of the most successful home health agencies out there. How I gather all this is through my experience myself, working in the field at the same time as managing other agencies and also owning my own agencies, my own home health, my own home care companies, currently and in the past. So in this video series, I just want to share with you guys some of the habits that I've seen people who succeed out there have. So first things first is this, have you ever stopped to think about some of the things successful agencies have in common? And as I go through this presentation, you'll probably see several habits that you guys may actually have right now. And, you might also find some habits where you don't have, and you want to be able to make sure that this is something you add into your company as well. And you start having people believe in this. You know, what I've done is I've conducted over 1,500 surveys to 1,500 home health agencies out there, and I've started noticing, that there are several recurring themes out there, and I've seen this, through the surveys I've done, and at the same time as I've seen while I'm consulting for other companies where I've actually gone into their agency, and I've traveled all over the U.S. now, and where I've gone to other agencies and I've actually looked into and saw things that made them become successful. So, just wanted to share this with you guys. And at the same time, just also wanted to say, in addition to being, of course, motivated, being, of course, dedicated, and also incredibly passionate about the business, you know, people, of course, like I said, needs to be motivated, dedicated, and incredibly passionate, but they also should also have these 10 habits that I'm sharing with you guys. Let's talk about motivation first, before we get started. You have to be motivated. You know, you need to be able to figure out what's your why. Whether the why is to be able to have the successful, agency, or to be able to have the why that you want it to be successful what you do. For people that actually, work for agencies, you need to show motivation because if you're not motivated, especially if you're a marketer, well, how are you going to be able to provide results? And at the same time as with motivation, you can get motivated, right? There's a lot of people out there that shows motivation the first 30, 60 days that they start working for a company, but then all of a sudden what happens? It dies down. We call it the 60-day phenomenon, where people will actually do so good in 60 days and everybody's like, oh my God, where has this person been all our lives? And then 90 days later, they stop producing, they stop losing interest, because the motivation normally only happens in the beginning of things. So that's where you need to be then dedicated. You need to be dedicated to success. You need to be able to have that dedication, the commitment, committing yourself to stay continuously motivated and to keep on going out there. And then to become dedicated, you need to become passionate about what you do, right? If you're not passionate at what you want, you're not going to see success. You're not going to be able to commit yourself because it doesn't mean anything to you. So when if you have your children, you become passionate to be able to make sure you care for them. For your parents, you want to make sure that you provide services for them or your patients as well. So, other than motivation, dedication, and passion, let's start by sharing with you guys some of the 10 major habits I've seen companies have, as a group, of course, and also individually that has helped them become successful. So, number one is pretty much staying focused. Okay? Understand that we need to stay focused. And these three things I'm sharing with you guys are some of the most problematic distractions for companies out there, or even you may even admit it for yourself when you are out there working. Number one is emails. I truly suggest for emails is that you don't use or touch your emails till the last 30 minutes of the day. When you want to be able to make sure that, that's when you start looking through your emails. Number two in regards to emails is don't open any personal emails at work, and it should be also a policy, for the office. If you're managing a company, or if you own a home health agency, is that you should have a no personal email, cell phone, social media policy. All right. So number one, nobody should be opening up their emails, personal emails. It should only be work related. Okay. I've even done it with the past where I've consulted for companies or even for myself where you can actually have, certain emails blocked from your company. You can also have monitoring of the people's computer systems. And so by you telling people, we're monitoring your computers, and so, this is there. So don't do any personal stuff or else you can get reprimanded for it. And by you saying that you have those programs, and if you should have the programs anyways, just for security purposes, and also, if people are less distracted by doing other stuff, they can focus on the job itself. Number two is cell phones. For cell phone wise, there should be a no cell phone policy in the company. Some people will say, well, we text message our other employees. Great. Have a cell phone that's just used for text messaging employees. Okay. Or you can have those SMS systems where you can use your computers to send text messages to employees. Actually, most softwares out there for billing, or for data entry for home health, hospice, or home care already has this option where you can send a message to employees. And actually, when you're using your cell phones to actually, converse with your employees, you want to be able to make sure it's in a secured line, because if you're dealing with patient information, there's a possibility chance that you may be, breaking HIPAA policies. So make sure that, when you are text messaging employees, that you guys have a secured SMS system that you can actually be able to make sure that it's monitored. And then for personal use of cell phones at work, there shouldn't be one. No one should be able to use their cell phones at work because, that's only for emergencies. 10, 15 years ago, not everyone had cell phones. Okay, now I know it's the new era, it's a new time, then everybody has cell phones. That's great. But look, if it's an emergency, call off. But at work, if you are spending so much time in your cell phone, and the fun part is if somebody's text messaging, right there alone, it's about 30 seconds, that is wasted every time that somebody sends a message or even reads a message. So just imagine how much time is being wasted by people using their cell phones and they're being distracted from doing their work. If they're distracted for a whole minute, let's say from text messaging back and forth, that means that's 2 minutes of work that has been wasted because 1 minute that they've been actually focused on doing this, using their cell phone, and another minute that they're not doing their job. So it's 2 minutes actually that's wasted and not just 1 minute. So there should be no cell phone policies, and that is just a distraction from what we need to do to become successful in our job. If it's an emergency, like I said, call off. But there should be a no cell phone policy. Number three, social media. Not unless you are the person that is posting stuff for social media for your job's social media page, then you can be in social media. If you're promoting your company through social media, then go ahead and do that. But if you just wanted to post what the next recipe is for the day, then no, you shouldn't be in social media because once again, it is another distraction. It's problematic for people. Also works when people are in the field. There should be also that policy set up for people out there, for your nurses, your therapists, your home health aides. So social media should be not used, not unless you are representing the company and then you have actually the right to do so. And it's just a waste of time. People just get so stuck in social media. And one thing I've actually learned from someone that I know is that he said this. He said, you know what, Michael? It's either you use social media or social media uses you. So if you're in social media during work just doing other things, then social media is using you. Now, if you're using social media to promote your company, great job. You should be doing that anyways. And we actually have a whole training in regards to social media from Facebook to LinkedIn, their Instagram training on how to be able to promote your company out there. So staying focused is definitely very important for you. Let me ask you this. Do any of these sound familiar to you guys? You jump into your inbox, right, in your email really quick to see if any email came through, and 30 minutes later, you've gotten yourself into like 10 different text email exchanges, or you're going to log into Facebook to post an update about your business, but 20 minutes later, you find yourself surfing the news feed and you still haven't posted that update. Well, it happens to the best of us, but only if we let it. So that is why we talk about that earlier on to you guys about email, cell phones, and social media is a distraction for you. Because trust me, if you are paying attention to these things and not paying attention to your job, then how is your company going to become successful? So what are the first steps to staying focused? First step is this. Practice putting aside specific times during the day when checking your email and your phone messages. Henceforth, like I said earlier, keep it at the end of the day or when you get home at night. Next thing is, if you have to post something, make sure it's about the business. Like I said, it's either you use social media or social media uses you. 3, get rid of those social network apps and games in your phone. I actually tell people this. I said, look, you don't need social media apps in your phones, games in your phones. I know so many people out there that wasted so much time in Candy Crush or any of those other games out there. And I personally have been guilty of this. And I personally actually had to erase this from my phones because I started seeing myself wasting a few minutes. Do you guys actually keep a log of wasted minutes? Try it one of these days. Go home and tell me how many minutes you probably spent in your phone doing nonsense stuff. So remember, guys, you guys definitely want to make sure, okay, that you stay focused and you don't waste any time, any minutes, any hours. If you can concentrate into using those into finding new referrals, finding new leads, imagine how better your company becomes and how better, you guys can actually have a better outcome for your organization. All right, moving on from, number 1 habit, let's move on to the second habit, and that is start early and prepare. So, have you ever woken up and then asked yourself, what do I need to accomplish today? Have you ever done that? Okay, you wake up, you say, all right, what do I need to do? What do I need to do? And then here you are just thinking like, oh my God, what am I supposed to do today? Oh yeah, I need to do this, I need to do that. And here you are just wasting your time, all right? Don't do this. You're going to literally waste sometimes around 2-3 hours just trying to figure this out, trying to add to that list of what needs to happen. I truly suggest that you literally write your goals down every night before you sleep. Every night before you sleep, write your goals down. Because right then you can start accumulating everything in your head, what needs to happen. I even have, a notebook with me, okay? A notebook that I start writing things down that I need to do. If I remember something throughout the day, I write that. I write it down, okay? And if I can accomplish that day, then good. But really, by the end of the day, I have this list already, and I will literally write it all down again, right? To put it in my head, to keep it in there. And so when I wake up the following day, I can ask myself, what do I need to do today? I grab that piece of paper, I look at it. I grab that notebook, I look at it, and I say, okay, I know I need to do these. All right, so don't waste your day. You want to start up right away knowing what you're supposed to be doing, okay? You want to be able to make sure that you attack things right away out there and know what you're doing so that you're not wasting your time. You can hit the ground running and start making the phone call, start making, the plans on where your company needs to market, who you need to be able to visit. All these things needs to happen on a daily basis. All right, also, in addition to start early and prepare, you need to plan out your schedule in advance. I guarantee you will get a lot more done if you do this. So, you can either do what I do where I need to write things down in a notebook, just the old school ways and just, script it down, or you can use an app. You can use an app. I take it down to the basics of writing it down. And so I have one of those, yellow notepads that you can buy in Office Max or Walmart, wheresoever. And that's where I write things. And you literally see hundreds of yellow notepads that I have, at my place. I learned this from, from a good mentor of mine a long time ago. I just keep it basics. There are these apps, and if you're one of those app people, go ahead and download it, go ahead and use it. But sometimes as people think that if they can literally bring in the new best thing, the new best app, that's going to literally take them and bring them success. But the app is worthless, okay, unless you're dedicated, unless you're motivated, unless you're passionate about what you're doing, that you want to get things done. All right. So, like I said in the last slide, and this slide as well, is write your goals down every night before you sleep. You know, so let me ask, how many of you guys are doing this now? Okay, how many are you guys currently, how many of you guys out there who's watching this do this on a daily basis is the question. People done this before, but that doesn't mean they don't do it consistently is the problem. And this is one good example of, a New Year's resolution. When's the last time has somebody actually, accomplished their New Year's resolution? If it is so important for you, then you should be writing things down every day to literally remind you of it. And so people will, start the New Year's and write down their New Year's resolution, okay? But nothing else happens to it because they don't constantly remind themselves of what needs to happen or what they actually need to do. So start early and prepare, write the information down, make sure you keep yourself always motivated and being able to write these things down and keep you in the right aspect of things. Okay, so the number 3 habit that successful home health agencies have out there are they are willing to literally put themselves out there, right? They're not scared, right? They're not scared to put themselves out there. But let me go ahead and share you a quick secret. They are scared. But what they do is when something is scary, the best decision to do is to go forward on it. Because that means what you're doing is your body or your mind is scaring you because it's something different. But most of the time is if we go towards something we're scared of, towards something that is hard, more likely there is a better chance of success, a better chance that what we're doing there is what's going to lead us to being successful. Look, everyone is scared. One of the big things is to be able to get your company out there is you need to do a lot of presentations. You need to be going to, knocking on doors, willing to get your doors shut on you, willing for people to give you objections, willing for people to say, we don't allow any solicitations here. Look, I agree there's no solicitations, but I'm not soliciting. I'm literally telling you guys and giving you guys a service for your patients that they deserve. So I'm not soliciting little junkets or little trinkets out there. I'm literally here because I want to be able to share with you guys an amazing information that I truly believe that your patients will enjoy. That's what I tell people when people tell me there's no solicitation. I agree there's no solicitation. I hate those solicitors, but I'm not soliciting. I'm here to share something with you. It's one of my quick objection techniques, and we actually teach people on how to be able to know what to say, how to be able to block, to go past objections, and that's a whole other training for now. Look, don't be scared to put yourself out there. Don't let it be the handicap that's going to cause you or prevent you from being successful. Remember, what's your why? Right? What motivates you to become successful? Is it your kids? Is it your wife? Is it that car that you want to buy? Whatever it is, if that's what you want, who cares about getting scared? Everyone gets scared. It's what you're willing to do. If you're willing to go past that, that's the most important things. So understand that you're not alone, all right? So that's the good news. The fun part is if you can go past what's scary, the other people out there, the other agencies, the ones who are scared, well, they're going to stay behind the wall. And guess what? You're going to win, all right? So you need to be able to understand, you need to be able to put yourself out there, all right? Here, let me ask this question. Has it ever happened to you? You find out about a networking event, you don't have any plans, it sort of makes you uncomfortable to think about going to something like this on your own. You don't know anyone else out there who is going, and so you make some stupid excuse to not go. Even it would be a great way to meet potential referral sources or power partners. We teach people that you need to be able to either be attending 2 to 3 networking events on a weekly basis. And if you are not attending any weekly networking events, you better start creating your own networking events. And so you have to understand is that a lot of people, they are not willing to put themselves out there. They're not willing out there to be able to find the opportunities for them. And for you to become successful, people needs to know who your company is about. What do you guys do? Who do you service? What insurance policies do you accept? How are people going to know about your company if you're not willing to put yourselves out there? And I'm not just talking about networking events. I'm talking about the internet. Having webinars such as this, for example, having setting up your websites, setting up to make sure you have your social media presence out there. What are you guys doing out there to be able to put yourselves into the realm where people can find you? Not just the typical I have a trifold brochure, or not just the typical I have my business cards. And that's the biggest problems. A lot of people will say, well, I have a business card. Great, do you use it? Do you know that the best marketers out there go through about 5,000 business cards in a yearly basis? That's right, 5,000 business cards. You need to be able to be using between 4,000 to 5,000 business cards and handing those out in a yearly basis. If you told me that you still had the same 1,000 business cards that you ordered 5 years ago and have not handed it out, then guess what? You're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. You're not out there putting yourself out there to market. Look, opportunities only come for those who are willing to open the doors and let them in. If you think that waiting for the call just because you have a phone, a website, and an office, you need to wake up, people. If you think the referrals are just going to start coming in because you are in the Medicare website, if you think that referrals are just going to be coming in because all of a sudden you actually send a mailer out there, what are you doing out there right now that's putting your company out there? What are you willing to sacrifice to do this? Do you have a website? What's funny is more than 75% of home health agencies, home care companies do not even have a website. And what's even scarier is that the companies that do have a website, more than 70% of them don't even have it set up to be able to be seen for SEOs, or even putting things in there that is effective for people to want to keep on coming back to their websites. All right, so websites is one thing. The phones. Are you guys calling on a daily basis? Are you doing cold calls to try to set up appointments? What are you doing in regards to, when people do call your facility? Do you guys know how to answer correctly? Is everybody trained in your facility how to be able to facilitate an admission, a referral? Okay? Most people say, well, yes, we are. But then we actually have a service that when we actually do a call to see if they know what they're doing, we practice, we give them a little, they don't even know that we're calling them. We're calling for the managers. We find out that people are not knowing what they're supposed to be doing. And so, you need to be able to learn how to put yourself out there and not be scared about things. You need to be able to punch through the walls and literally go out there and let people know who you are. All right, the fourth habit. Let's move on. Fourth habit is go celebrate. What? Go celebrate? What do you mean? All right, let's talk about it really quick. We sometimes get so wrapped up in all the craziness that we forget to celebrate the little successes we receive. All right? You need to pump yourself up. You need to be able to have, monthly employee outings. All right? You need to be able to de-stress yourselves as a group and individually as well. So, what is, if you're the owner of a company, if you're the manager, what are you doing to de-stress everybody? What are you doing to be able to put everybody together to team up and to be able to understand that there's one common goal that you should have, that we should all be helping each other to become successful, helping each other to be able to reach the goal that we want? What is your company's goal right now? Do you have a weekly goal? Do you have a daily goal? Do you have a quarterly goal? Like I would set up a goal and say, all right, by the end of this quarter, we're gonna have an average of 175, census. And by the third quarter, we're going to have 250. Okay? And then when we reach these goals, celebrate it. Okay? If you almost made the goal, celebrate it. If you don't reach the goal, start finding out why you're not reaching it. Okay? So you need to be able to celebrate the different successes that you guys have made. Okay? This is so important because if we are just always stressed out, well, guess what? We're going to be stressed out all the time. Eventually, we need to be able to release the stress. Okay, so have group outings, have some fun stuff to go on, during the day at work. Have little, goals that everyone can help each other meet. All right, so go celebrate, do that. Definitely is a must. Okay, keeping it in perspective. Okay, that's number 5. Number 5 of the habits of some of the most successful agencies out there. Look, it's easy to think, our lives and businesses are pretty much the be all, the end all of the world, right? So most people think that if you are to be successful, right? If you are to be successful, then everything has to pretty much come into perfection. Everything should be perfect. But you have to understand that, all of our journeys, all through life, there's no such thing as perfection. And if we keep on striving ourselves to find perfection, we sometimes prevent ourselves to actually do what needs to happen. I actually tell people, like, look, you create actions to fail. And the reason why you want to fail is you want to be able to, and you want to fail fast. All right? And people, when I tell people this, they get shocked. They say, why do I want to fail fast? Well, guess what? If you can get to failure, right, and figure out that what you're doing is actually going to create failure as early as possible, well, guess what? Then you know what not to do, and you can move on to figure out what the right thing is to do. But if you take your time to try to perfect things and try to postpone things, and all of a sudden, when you get there, you're like, oh my God, I made the wrong decision, or, this is not the right thing to do. I need to change my ways. Well, if it took you a month to do that, well, then you just lost a month if you're doing a marketing tactic or marketing technique. But guess what? If you figure it out within a week that it's not going to work, then you can then start moving yourself into the avenue that actually is the right thing. Here's a couple facts. You are never going to figure things out exactly when you want to. All right? Things are never going to be perfect. And guess what? Humans make mistakes. So look into the mirror and accept the fact that you're human and that you're going to make mistakes. But it's how we actually adjust ourselves to those mistakes. All right? Did you know this? Did you know that this industry that we're in, the home health, the home care, the hospice, the healthcare industry by itself is stressful, is gut-wrenching, is difficult, and can make us feel inadequate? So what? It's okay. Look, life is just like that, right? So if you think that just the healthcare industry is this way, look, you're mistaken. All right, the whole world is this way. Our whole lives are going to be this way. It can get stressful, but it's how we adjust ourselves. Your job is literally to find out what you can do to do things correctly, to be able to put yourselves in perspective, to know that things may go wrong, but it's how you go around it is the most important. And understand, here's a quick quote: perfection is just another word for procrastination. Sometimes we want things so perfect that we keep on procrastinating. All right, so understand, there's no such thing as perfection. The most important thing is action, not perfection. Okay? All right, number 6. All right, number 6 habit is effing the frustration. All right, F and frustration. That's fear and frustration. Okay? Not the bad word, you dirty people. All right, listen, fear and frustration. These are literally 2 of the biggest roadblocks in our industry, in our business. So get rid of them. Let me ask this. What have you done in the past to go beyond a fear or a frustration on something? What have you done that was able to help you go past it? Figure that out and start doing it, okay? Look, it's very important to be able to do this, all right? Fear really, does not exist. It's not real. All right? Fear is not real and does not exist. Okay? We're fearful of something that's going to happen, but when we get there, it doesn't happen. Right? I always, kind of use, this thing of, I used to read this Sesame Street book with, the monster at the end of the book with Grover. I don't know if you guys know that book. Look it up. It's amazing. It's always good to give to kids. But, monster at the end of the book. And actually, here's a quick technique. what I use a lot of times in marketing is literally I use old books. I find out, what storybooks influence the person I'm trying to market to, and when I come back another time, I bring them that book. And so one of my favorite books is the Monster at the End of the Book, and I actually use that to market my company a lot. And when I market out there, I give it to people. I say, look, this is my favorite book. I think you will enjoy it too. But that's a side note. That's a little quick tip. But anyways, fear is not real. All right. So in the Monster at the End of the Book, okay, Grover, every time that you turn the page, Grover starts getting mad, right? He says, "What are you doing? Oh my God! If you turn the page, we're gonna get to the end of the book, and there's a monster at the end of the book." Right? And so, of course, as a person that's reading it, you want to see the monster. So you keep on turning the pages. And every time he's trying to prevent you to open up the page, he's tying up the pages. He's putting bricks. He's putting up some woods out there, to try to block you. And then every time you open up the page, you go past that. And he's getting scared. He's getting really, really scared. And then all of a sudden, you're second to the last page, and he says, "Look, please don't open. Don't turn the page, because if you turn that page, there's a monster at the end of the book, and I'm scared." And so, of course, as a reader, what do? You turn the page. And when you turn the page, in the last page, he says, "Oh, I get it. I'm the monster at the end of the book." So, look, understand that fear does not exist, okay? And if there's fear, go through it. Go straight to what scares you. Go straight to what's, keeping you from getting success. People will say, "Well, I don't want to go see that doctor because he's just going to say no." How do you know that? And the problem is, more likely he may say no, right? But the problem is because it's your presentation. Do you know how to present to the physicians correctly? And that's something that we do, is we help people learn how to present, what to hand out, what to give them, how to follow up. These are very important to be able to learn to increase the chances of your success. All right, number 7, sleep. Give your body a chance to recover. Don't sleep during work, okay? Not during work, but you need your 7 to 8 hours of sleep, all right? And also, if you're marketing, right, you want to start early all the time, okay? If you're marketing your company, everyone should be sleeping early. If you try to market to the companies past 4 p.m., you will just literally hit a roadblock. People are just trying to finish the day, right? They're just trying to finish it up. So you want to start early in marketing. You want to be able to plan things out early. You want to be able to make sure that you set up your Google Maps visiting chart, literally. So when I actually set up marketing tactics, we'll sit down and we'll write down, okay, well, if we're visiting all these physicians tomorrow, let's put all their addresses down. And let's look into Google Maps on how we can actually make sure that which one is close to each other. How can we set up a really good route to make sure that we don't lose any minutes, any time, because every time that we lose is a time that's lost. And so we want to be able to make sure we use our time correctly. And starting the day off early is always great. You want to do that. You want to be the first person that they visit. Right? You want to be the first person that visits that home care company, or that doctor or that nursing home. But here's the fun part. You want to be the first or you want to be the last, it doesn't matter. You want to be the person that's rested and ready to go, that's well planned, okay, that actually has the right tools, the right equipment, the right presentations to literally go out there and introduce their company and become successful. So first things, number 7, like I said, give your body a chance to recover. Make sure you sleep and have a nice pillow. Look, it was funny. I went to go buy a nice bed a few years back, and this is what the guy said. He says, "Look, 1/3 of your life is spent sleeping. Why don't you invest in it?" And here I am about to buy a I think it was like a $400 bed, and I left that place spending close to about $2,500 for a king size, amazing bed that it is. You need to be able to sleep and rest perfectly. So make sure you have a good pillow. You're sleeping the same time every day. Keep your stuff going. That's very important. Okay. Number 8, hang up your cape. Right. Get rid of that what we call the superhero syndrome. Okay. You're not going to save everybody. Never ever going to happen at all. All right, we're almost done to number 8. Habit of a successful company and successful people working in the industry is they need to be able to hang up their cape. That's right, hang up that cape. And pretty much, you need to remove what we call the superhero syndrome. You need to get rid of that. Look, understand this, you do not have all the answers. You do not have enough time to handle everything on your own, or, people that works for you cannot handle everything on their own. And guess what? That is always a great thing. Why is it a great thing? The reason why it's great is because we need to come up to a certain point where we need to understand that as a group, as a team, that is going to be the only way that we can create success. Everyone needs to be able to take their own part of this company, to be able to deliver their own responsibilities in order to be able to create that organization, that successful company. No one individual can become the success of a company. So as a marketer, for example, here's a great example, is that a marketer can find a potential referral source, may get the commitment of that physician to refer a patient to your company. Now, guess what? He did his job. The physician then refers a patient to your company, yet your team in the office are not good at following up with the physician. Your nurses and your clinical team are not providing great care for the patient. And because of that, that referral source stops referring patients to you. So whose fault is it? Is it the marketer that you don't have more patients, or is it the team in the office? So if your marketer is great at what he does, yet your staff is not great at taking care of the patient and following up with the physicians, well, guess what? Ultimately, you guys are going to have problems in your company. You're not going to have the referrals that you deserve. You're not going to have the census that you believe that your company deserves. So remember, hang up your cape. No one individual can create success for a company. Everyone has to put themselves together, and that is a very good habit to have for a company to be able to be successful. Moving on to number 9 is be consistent. You have to be consistent. Okay? If you don't have consistency, then you will not be able to get what you want. If you have consistency, this will help you build trust, encourage loyalty, and create momentum. All right? You need to be able to have a schedule. That's the best way to literally have consistency, because how can you be consistent? You need to know when you need to do things at a particular point in time. So even in marketing, you need to be consistent. No one visit, number one, no one visit can get you a referral source. Very rare does that happen where I will visit a physician and right there and then they're going to start referring patients to me. No, normally it takes 5, 6, 7, even up to 10 visits of consistency. And I'm talking about 5 to 10 visits within a matter of a month, 2-month period, all right, to be able to get that person to start trusting you. Because if you are consistently in front of them, there's going to be that recognition, the brand recognition, and then ultimately trust occurs from that. Okay? We don't know, we normally don't know someone fully until we've been around them for a period of time. And so that is what we're trying to do when we market our home health agency, our home care company, our hospice, is to be able to eventually get to be that person that they think of when they think of home health, when they think of home care, when they think of hospice. For that to occur, we need to bring in consistency. And consistency is literally the key to be able to get those referrals. So number 9, be consistent at what you do. All right? If you're providing great care, always provide great care. Okay? If you provide bad care, well, be consistent at it. You might as well be good at providing bad care. I'm kidding. Look, be consistent at giving good care. Because if you're consistent at giving bad care, guess what? Doors are going to shut down. You have to close the office. All right? Fire everybody. And you don't want that. All right? So everybody, everybody has to have that agreement that we need to show consistency of great services, great care for our clients and our referral sources as well. All right, let's go ahead. Last one is don't ever give up. Giving up, you might as well close your doors, right? If you give up, you will close your doors. So you need to never ever give up. And so we talked about earlier is consistency is number 9. Number 10, don't ever give up. When you build a reputation, it takes time, right? And for success, for a home health agency to become successful, it's not just going to be an overnight success. No such thing as somebody opens up the door, then they're successful, right? It doesn't exist. Name one company, even even in the industry we're in, even if not in the industry we're in, right? Name me another company where overnight, okay, they became a success. Name one company. Give me one. Go ahead and try. You never will be able to, right? There's people out there who talk about people of overnight success. No, the question is, what did they do before that one night of success? They had to consistently, all right, put something together, working hard, years, months before they become successful. So sometimes we look at, well, oh my God, that person just came out of the blue and became successful. No, the question is, what did they do? What did he do to all of a sudden become successful? So don't ever give up. Be consistent at what you want. You need to be able to have goals together. Understand that. Look, the people in the companies that have succeeded got there because of what they did. They never gave up. They knew that they had a goal that they wanted to be able to reach. You want to be able to set the goals and let people know that they should not give up and they should actually work hard at it. All right, let's do a quick review. Number one, stay focused. Stay focused on what you want. Start early and prepare, okay? Put yourself out there. Don't be scared. Look, people are scared, but put yourself out there. Let people know who you are. You need to be able to market your company in a variety of different ways. Your websites, email. You have to do an email blast out there so you can actually get people's contacts and let them know. Send them emails in regards to, educational based marketing. Let them know that you guys are a company that should be looked into. You want to be able to make sure that you celebrate your successes. If you're successful, celebrate it. Let everybody feel the success that they're all putting together into this organization. Number 5, literally keep everything in perspective. All right, keep things in perspective. 6, right, fear and frustration. Right, F the frustration. Fear and frustration. There's going to be fear, but it's okay. There's going to be frustration. It's going to be okay. All right. Number 7, sleep. Right. People are well slept. I even work with one agency where they have one of those sleep monitors, right? And where the owner will literally say, all right, they came in an agreement that they're going to help each other rest well. So they have that band, I think it's called Fitbit or something. And, so John over there will literally look at people's Fitbits and they'll be like, all right, you're sleeping good, great. Because he wants people well rested for his company. And they get bonuses if they're sleeping well, okay? Number 8, hang up your cape. All right, no one person is going to be the main person to create success in a company. It has to be a team effort. No one person can do it. Number 9, be consistent. Number 10, don't ever give up. You're watching this video because you want to be able to learn the habits. I truly believe that you guys will be successful if you do not give up. If you consistently try things. You want to be able to consistently try things to get to failure as soon as possible, because if you can get there, you can figure out how to do things correctly. And of course, if you have that mindset of putting all in, well, guess what? There's going to be times where the first thing you think of is a success. Then you can just maintain that and keep that going. Like, I want you guys to become successful. That is one of my main goals here at Home Health Success Academy. So remember, home health marketing is not hard if you know what you're doing. What we do in this business of ours is that we help agencies learn how to be able to market their company, and other than prospecting or knowing who to go to, but know how to present things correctly. A lot of people fear presentation, and that's what we do is we actually help you by preparing you, because most people are fearful of things because they are not prepared. They fear because they're not prepared. And so you want to prepare yourself by being able to make sure you have everything in your arsenal to become successful, from what to present, what type of flyer should you have, what you should be giving away, what are the educational based marketing materials you should have, how do you set up your website, how do you actually find the right referral sources, and even better is how do you actually monitor your marketing team, okay? That is our goal here at Home Health Success Academy. Some of the smallest things. Stop by our website, homehealthsuccessacademy.com. Understand that home health marketing is not hard if you know what you're doing. This is Michael Echeverria with Home Health Success Academy. I am the president and the lead marketing coach for Home Health Success Academy. Anything that I can do, please give us a call, send us an email. If you have any questions, all right, the way to do it is create a video with a question, send it to me, and then I'll be glad to be able to answer your question. This is Michael again. Thank you so much and have a great day.